And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun of All, of course. Please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, AFC North schedule ranking going to be just to the AFC East, so time for the AFC North. In terms of this division, again, this overall series, this is definitely one that I will say, again, there's definitely some funky games overall to it that, again, I'll try to explain. But, again, we look at this, again, this is the whole schedule you're seeing here. But in terms of, again, this AFC North, the Bengals, again, we all know about their offense and their defense, that sort of narrative there, but that doesn't really play into this, to be honest with you guys. Again, in terms of, again, the order of this, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, that's, again, we're just going alphabetical. We're not really doing much more to that. Again, we do have two more AFC East, AFC divisions to go through before we get to the NFC, and, again, finish ranking the schedules 1 through 4 by division, first being the most favorable, or easiest if you want to say that, not really, but most favorable, and fourth being the worst, or, yeah, we'll see how many games they can win. Anyway, let's get first to the Bengals. And with that, what is going on, guys? Welcome back to Fun of All, of course. Please like and subscribe. Hope you guys enjoy. Yeah, AFC North schedule ranking going to be just to the AFC East, so time for the AFC North. In terms of this division, again, this overall series, this is definitely one that I will say, again, there's definitely some funky games overall to it that, again, I'll try to explain. But, again, we look at this, again, this is the whole schedule you're seeing here. But in terms of, again, this AFC North, the Bengals, again, we all know about their offense and their defense, that sort of narrative there, but that doesn't really play into this, to be honest with you guys. Again, in terms of, again, the order of this, Bengals, Browns, Ravens, Steelers, that's, again, we're just going alphabetical. We're not really doing much more to that. Again, we do have two more AFC East, AFC divisions to go through before we get to the NFC, and, again, finish ranking the schedules 1 through 4 by division, first being the most favorable, or easiest if you want to say that, not really, but most favorable, and fourth being the worst, or, yeah, we'll see how many games they can win. Anyway, let's get first to the Bengals. And again, the purpose of this ranking and deep dive is to get a ranking for the resume. Again, we already know the Bengals did not have a good draft class. Again, you can see a D, so that's going to affect them in again their overall resume. And the purpose of the resume, again, we're looking big picture here, is for me to think, how good of a chance is this team to have a candidate of having a spot in the Super Bowl? That's really what the point of this is. Again, we'll get to the roster grades when that sort of season comes around. And tier ranking right before the season starts. Anyway, though, for the Bengals schedule, they open up in Cleveland. That's a game they got blown out a couple years ago. They just completely crapped the bed. But this is a worse Browns team than that team, and that Browns team also wasn't very good. I don't know. They could lose this one. They're not losing the Jags, though. They again, if they start out they've had week one win since, what was it, freaking 28. They had like two. They don't win in week 1 very often, so that could be a loss. But week 2, yeah, they should be able to win that one. Vikings, that'll be a tough game. I don't know, maybe they're 1-2. At Denver, week 4 Monday Night Football. Again, like I said, they started out 0-3 last year. We don't know, but this is probably one of the more fun games to watch on the schedule. Also, I would like to mention this is definitely a schedule for the Bengals that isn't exactly easy. They're going to drop games for sure, but at the same time, through 4 weeks, I'd probably give them 2-2. Probably 3-1 again if we're gonna be really realistic. There we go. But again, short week playing the Lions at home is not favorable. That is again a national game. We'll get to another game that is national as well. They have a lot of national games to say the least. But that's a game I could absolutely see them dropping again, especially with that high-powered offense. We really don't know if that Dan Campbell lists. Yeah, not Dan Campbell. There we go. Ben Johnson lists Lions offense will really be that good, but still through 5 games, so maybe they're 2-3, maybe they're 3-2. Who cares? At the Packers week 6, this is actually a game I think does favor them very well. Again, if we're talking about predictions per se for this season, this is a game I could absolutely see them winning and losing, I guess, if you really want to think about it. Again, it's a lot of these games. So 3-3, 4-2, not again the record they want, but they should absolutely be able to run the table these last 3 weeks. Again, they haven't played great against the Steelers again overall the past couple of years, but again, with this being on again Thursday Night Football, again a short week, again definitely for sure they could lose that one. I don't know why I used the same 3 words there. But anyway, all 3 are home games. They should go into the bye week with a winning record regardless. 5-4, 6-3, I don't really care. They will have a winning record. At the Steelers off the bye, that is a sleeper game for sure. They could lose that one, definitely. But yeah, again, they could lose, they could win. I don't really care. Versus the Patriots, week 12 before it gets crazy. They really want to be going into this one 7-4, really safely 8-3. I think they'll be 7-4 going into week 13 though. But yeah, they're gonna have to win. Again, we look at this 6-week stretch here. They're gonna have to win at least 5 of these, in my opinion. If I think they'll want to run the division. This stretch though, honestly, this 4-week stretch here is gonna be rough. At the Ravens on Thanksgiving night, a short week is probably one of the worst games you could have in the entire season. But if there's any silver lining to it, it's you get a mini bye week before you have to go to Buffalo. So I guess that's something. But that is going to be a brutal game. And I don't. They can definitely split against the Ravens, but it just doesn't seem very favorable. At the Bills, that's gonna be a tough game. Like I said, again, they could absolutely be 8-5. What do we say, 7-6 here? I think they will win one of these 3 games, though, to be honest with you, because again, just the likelihood of them losing all 3 of these. Again, it could absolutely happen, obviously, but I think they'll be able to figure that out. At the Dolphins here in Week 16, Sunday Night Football, that gets me definitely a more high-scoring game overall. I think it'll be a fun one for sure, but definitely a must when we look at it again on the grand scheme of things. So I don't know if they'll be. I'd probably say 9-6 is a safe bet. Maybe 8-7, 9-6 is definitely like a safe bet for them there. Cardinals, again, this is again in terms of like the Saturday game, so this could be on a short week or it could be on a Sunday. Who the hell knows? We don't know about that one yet. All I know is that it's probably important. Then we get team versus Browns. All likelihood will probably be a must win. Overall though, for the Bengals, this stretch here to end the season isn't pretty. But overall, they have a really, again, the start isn't easy either, but like this stretch right here, like this 7-week stretch, I guess we want to say, these got to be win tiers. So there's some critical periods, but overall, I guess it's kind of a balance, not like an unbalanced schedule, to be honest with you. So it's not like they're going to win and losing, but at the same time, like, yeah, they definitely don't have some games in here that I just don't think will really work out well for them. And next up, we do have the Cleveland Browns. Again, are coming off a season where they won just 3 games. I'm acting like that's like not a lot. Again, for the Browns, I guess that's decent. No, it's not. That's horrible. Again, they made the playoffs in 2023. So, yeah, anyway, they're in a very weird situation. They got a very weird schedule to be completely in terms of, again, what I'm thinking here. Anyway, though, they open up the season versus the Bengals. That'll be a fun one. Again, I think they could win it, surprise some teams. But outside of that, this can be a little bit of hell after this. Out of the Ravens week 2, they're not winning that game. Versus the Packers week 3, who the heck knows? But you're probably not winning that one. At Detroit, they're going to get blown out. 0-4, 1-3, very realistic here through 4 weeks. Versus the Vikings in London, I mean, maybe they win it. I'm not going to say they're not going to, but to be more realistic, 1-4, they could be 2-3. Steelers week 6, that'll definitely be another tough one, but at the same time, definitely a little bit more winnable. Their defense could definitely help them in that one. But either way, with it being a low-scoring game, the fact that they don't have a competent quarterback, who the hell knows? But I think if they're somehow 3-3 through 6 weeks, I'd be shocked. But I think 2-4 is, again, overall a pretty reasonable expectation there. Versus Dolphins week 7, I talked about it. Yeah, this is a game that, again, the Dolphins could be able to drop, but more or less not 2-5. At New England week 8 isn't really the most fun game either. Regardless, they're going to have a losing record going into their bye week, which, again, is not really what you want, but you're the Browns, so life's hard. But relative, this isn't the worst. All right, after the bye, they've got some games. At the Jets, that's a winnable one versus the Bengals. Ravens, I mean, they won last year. Who the heck knows? At the Raiders, that's going to be a tough one. I just don't, it just doesn't really feel, don't like the vibes with that one. Back-to-back home games, again, are somewhat winnable. Niners are going to be tough, but, again, who the heck knows? Titans, that's definitely a winnable game. So, what do we say? They're 4-9, maybe 5-8, which isn't terrible for what they're really expecting here. At the Bears, maybe a winnable game. They're not beating the Bills. That's a game the Bills are not going to not show up for. Steelers and Bengals end the season. Again, they're probably both losses, if I'm being honest with that one. But yeah, overall for this Browns team, it's not like it's like the hardest schedule per se. Again, the worst schedule they could have gotten. But like, let's be honest, guys, this is not a schedule that's going to really give them a chance to be competitive late in the season. Just completely honest with you guys. So again, just overall kind of a wash. But again, there could have been definitely worse schedules for them. Penultimate schedule we're going through today, of course, is the Ravens. They've got they're probably favored to win this division for good reason, but yeah, I'm not gonna again say this schedule is like the most favorable, but we'll see. First 5 weeks they played 4 teams that advanced to they were in the divisional round last year. At Buffalo week 1, that's a toss. They should be able to beat the Browns. So worst case they're 1-1. Versus the Lions will be tough. At the Chiefs will be tough. Versus Texans will be tough. And versus the Rams will be tough. So 5 of these first 6 games, guys, for the Ravens are just not that great for them, to be honest with you guys. They're just not. But at the same time, like, again, I'd be surprised if they're, again, like 5-1 or 4-2, but 3-3, yeah, I think that's pretty realistic for them. So, yeah. This is going to be a tough first 6 games, but, again, I'd be shocked if they're like 2-4. So, but, yeah, they're not going to be coming out of this as the number 1 team in the NFL going into week 7. Who knows? Maybe they are, but, again, I think our early bye week here is very, very, again, the NFL's like, yeah, let's just give them a hard start and then see what happens after. But, yeah. For the Ravens here, not the best start for them, but at the same time, they're the Ravens. They should be okay. But through 6 games, don't expect them to have like some dazzling right here. All right. Week 8 versus the Bears, that's a game I think they'll just completely just destroy them. And the Ravens are used to, like, I'm telling you guys, there's like at least 2 or 3 games a year where the Ravens just show up and they just blow a team out. I will say though, having a three game road trip start out with a Thursday night football game on a short week. Again, it's not a short week. With a Thursday night game to start it off, it's just not good. But again, kind of does elongate that road trip a little bit too, or lessen it a little bit when you think about it again on either side. But yeah, that game's gonna be that's gonna be an interesting game for sure. But again, we'll see what happens. But worst case, they're probably like, what would we say, 4-4 through 9 weeks. They got to beat the Vikings. They got to beat the Browns here again. They're both on the road, so they probably top one of them. But yeah, those games they should win. They have a 3-game homestand that I expect them to play pretty well. And again, a short week here on Thursday that night, though. Who knows what they do in play against Cincinnati again. Maybe a trap game here in Week 16 as well. So I don't think they're going to have some dazzling record, though, here through week, 15? Maybe they're, 10-4 if they're lucky. But I'd probably say they're going to rattle off some wins here, though. Like this 8-game stretch here. Oh, yeah, I think 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. They could absolutely go 7-1 here. I'd probably say more realistic 6-2, though. Because, this is it's just not that fun. To be honest with you, I would not want this in my schedule. 6 weeks here. Anyway, though, their last 3 games are also not the greatest. Versus the Patriots, again, is a little bit nicer. But at the Packers and Steelers in the season is also not great. Yeah, this is just not a fun schedule from a Ravens fan. Like, there's not really any let up in it. Yeah, this, 4-week stretch should be somewhat decent. Or, no, 5-week stretch after the bye. It should definitely, I'd be actually thinking they should go 5-0 here again. But that 3-game road trip just isn't really that great either. Again, the start's going to be tough. They're just going to get beaten down by the schedule, guys. Again, it just doesn't really seem like one that's really built for a team, again, at least this year for the Ravens to, play out the season, again, as they really would want it to. Last and definitely least, we have the Steelers, who, their games to start the season start with the Jets, which is going to be a toss-up. Seahawks week 2, I actually think there will be a game that I think they could absolutely win, but will it actually happen? Who the heck knows? But again, I'd say 1-1 is a very, very, very definitive start for them. 0-2, I mean, maybe. Patriots week 3 will be a tough one, but with the Vikings in London, I'll probably say they'll finish 2-2 going into the bye week, a very early bye week for them as well. But considering who they have off the bye week, I guess you'll be okay with it. But early bye week for the Steelers, doesn't really bode well. But anyway, yeah, let's say 2-2, flat 500 going into the bye week. Browns offense should be a win, 3-2. Bengals, toss up, I guess. Again, they're gonna win some of these close games. Again, they find ways to do that. That's part of the reason they had a losing record under Mike Tomlin. But again, at the same time, you're gonna expect they're again with the quarterback situation they have at the moment. Well, actually, I don't know. But with what they have right now, yeah, probably gonna change here. Packers on Sunday Night Football. Oh yeah, mind you that they gotta talk about how many prime times. This is just freaking ridiculous. 1, 2, 3, 4. 5. How do they have 5? This is just absolutely insane. I mean, they can have 4, but they have 5 national. That's just crazy. Again, if you think the Steelers are as good as the Rams, well, yeah, something like that. Some good stuff. Anyway, though, yeah, Colts. That's a game that's definitely gonna win, but more likely than not, 4-4, 3-5, probably where they'll be at. I'll say 4-4 to be generous. Week 10, that's gonna be a loss. I just don't see them losing going to the Chargers and winning that one. So let's say 4-5. Bengals, I don't see them sweeping them. So let's say 5-5. 4-6. Bears probably be a win, 5-6. They usually tend to win those. And these are gonna be all losses. What are we saying? 4-7. Yeah, again, they'll probably rattle off some BS wins here at the end of the season. But we look at this. These 2 games are winnable. That one's not too. Honestly, it's kind of a wash for their schedule. Again, I don't really see this as the hardest schedule per se either. And I kind of just don't want to honestly dead average. They'll probably they have a chance to go 8-9 if I had to guess. Maybe 9-8. Who knows? But yeah, this isn't really a schedule that I'm too fond of. But at the same time, it's not I don't know. It's balanced. That's probably the best way to put it. There's no insane. I mean, this stretch isn't good. But at the same time, you got to go with the expectation. They're going to drop the hard games. They're going to win some games they shouldn't early in the season as well. So yeah, again, I don't see the Steelers starting 7-2 or anything like that. But yeah, they should be maybe, I don't know, what are you saying, 6-5, 5-6 going to these games, and they'll probably figure out a way to not have a losing record at the end of the season. Anyway, though, yeah, looking at these, this 4-game stretch is definitely not great. But I mean, there's worse stretches you'll see. Yeah, that's all I got for the Steelers. And for the hardest schedule in this division, again, it kind of makes sense. The Ravens have the 9th hardest schedule in the entire NFL. But we look at it in terms of the grand scheme things here. This is a Ravens team that I don't think has any sort of stretch where I'm like, yeah, they're going to be stretched. Again, we look at that massive stretch there where they can win some games. But it's definitely not a balanced schedule overall. And they're going to just get beat up. It's this schedule is not made for a team that's going to be well-oiled and be prepared in the playoffs. It's just a very tough and challenging schedule. I'm not saying they're not going to be able to get through it with these, but with flying colors. But I just don't see this team again this year with the schedule they have as a super, again, just made out the schedule as a team the Ravens schedule, that's a good schedule. I just don't see it. Next up, we got the Bengals. The reason they're third is because, again, the Ravens, just again, their schedule is just not built for them to win. Again, it looks like a team like, yeah, we don't want them to win, I guess is probably the best way to put it. Their schedule isn't too much easier, though. It's also not very balanced. I will say it's a little bit more. They definitely have some more opportunities to win. But at the same time, they will have some sort of pressure on them to win early because, again, they do have a stretch there from weeks 13 to 16 or 17. That's just not very easy. Again, at the same time, they don't have 2 road games to end the season. And there are some good things in there for them for sure. But, again, like I said, it's not the easiest schedule overall. Again, it just has some definitely imbalances that I think will hurt them. Again, especially for a team, if they could get off to definitely a slow start. I don't know if they'll be able to recover like their own was able to last year. Steelers, again, I don't really care about the schedule, guys. Again, the strength schedule definitely doesn't help them at all. But at the same time, it's not the schedule. I'm like, yeah, they could absolutely find a way to win 9 games here. Kind of a wash overall. I'm like, oh god, how the heck did they get this? They give 10, 11 games, and the Patriots. We talked about in the AFC East, but yeah, this is definitely a team that again. In the 8 or 9 wins, they're possible, kind of a wash. And then again, the number 1 schedule in this division is the Browns by default. Again, very average in terms of strength schedule. Again, I think the Bengals might have been a little bit easier. But if you're a Browns fan, you're like, yeah, we could be, I don't know, win 6 games, I guess, with this. Again, the Browns aren't expected to be too competitive this year. Again, with what they have, I don't really, again, they could be good. It could be out to an 0-4 start. But more realistically than not, they will be competitive in some games early, which honestly is, I think, all you really want with them. So kind of by default, they have the most favorable schedule in the division for what they're going to try to accomplish this year. But that's all I got for the Browns. And yeah, see if the AFC South sometime soon.
1st and 10. And with a rookie left tackle on the move. Look at this run right here. Perriman. He'll take it all the way. That is what Baltimore does. And the answer to the Miami touchdown. A 53-yard catch and run by Rashad Perriman. What a play. His 2nd consecutive week with a touchdown reception.
You don't get him this wide open. I mean, this is